Finish us AFC East burning questions with them. And my question is, will Aaron Rodgers make all these headaches worth it and deliver big for the Jets?
You know, I'd like to say yes. I just don't know. And here's why, guys. He hasn't really played top-level championship football in 3 seasons. And a lot's going to be put on Tyron Smith's shoulders in terms of a new left tackle. We could criticize the Dallas Cowboys all we want, deals they made, should have made. They don't let good players go typically, and if they thought Tyron Smith had a lot left in the tank, I think he'd still be a Dallas Cowboy. So that's a really important position to watch. To their credit, they did draft Olo Fashanu. He may have to play early, but they really have to thread the needle here, guys. Mike Williams, Tyron Smith, and obviously Rodgers all staying healthy.
Yeah, they took some big swings and a few big risks. Bill, are you buying the Jets as real contenders if Rodgers plays?
I am, because this isn't Aaron Rodgers and the Aaron Rodgers super friends anymore the way it was a year ago. There's added pieces to Mike's point. You know, if Tyron Smith does get hurt, you have a top 11 pick and Olu Fashanu at left tackle who can fill in. There's pieces now at receiver besides Aaron Rodgers' friends from Green Bay after Garrett Wilson. There's just more to work with throughout this roster. And the point I'll say is this: we can talk about Aaron Rodgers being worth the headache. This is a team that hasn't had a player get a single MVP vote from a single voter since Joe Namath. Like, at that point, you have to be willing to take a shot, even if Aaron Rodgers might be a bit of a headache, might want to take a side trip to the pyramids. It's worth it if you can get the upside of Aaron Rodgers for when he won the MVP a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
hey, Bill, they had to overcome some really shaky front office people. You know, are you surprised by that stat? Really?
They're still reeling, actually. I think from the Tannenbaum era, still digging out. No, I'm kidding, of course. What is it like? What do they have to do to make? I mean, big swing on Aaron Rodgers. How far do they have to go for you to
wild card berth? Is 9 wins, 10 wins? Is that enough to make all of the headaches worth it? I mean, to Bill's point about Aaron Rodgers and friends, I still have concerns about the offensive coordinator, as most people do. But this is the one time in the last couple of years at this point of the calendar where we're not talking about the Jets' offensive line as a massive concern and the quarterback that's going to be behind that unit. They have made upgrades. They might not be the greatest upgrades by and large throughout the rest of the NFL, but it certainly is in a much better state than when Zach Wilson was playing it last year.
No, well, there's no.
So this is such a bizarre question. Will Aaron Rodgers be worth the headaches for the Jets? Aaron Rodgers isn't a headache for the Jets. The front office doesn't care, the coaching staff doesn't care, and the players certainly don't care. He's not a headache for any of them. The media are having headaches. They're the ones that are making big deals out of every little thing. So this whole idea is nonsense, because why aren't they asking these questions like, is Brandon Ayuk's, antics a headache, worth the headaches for the 49ers? Why aren't they asking that question? Right? Why aren't they saying, is Micah Parsons' nonsense and podcast worth the headaches for the Dallas Cowboys? Right? Like it's just like, what are we talking about here? Everyone wants to forget who Aaron Rodgers is on the field because they want to emphasize every little thing he does off the field. And it's just insane to me. And it's really getting old at this point. And so like this idea that he's been such a headache and is he worth it? The Jets have done nothing forever. They've done nothing. Was Zach Wilson? Like, Zach Wilson was the headache. Do you know how uncomfortable it is going into a season week after week after week, not knowing what the heck your quarterback is going to do? When you're both, even if you're on the defense, you're just like, I have no idea what our offense is going to be able to do. Do you know how hard it is for those players to prepare defensively, knowing that they have to shut a team down? They can't give up more than like 6 points. Otherwise, they have no chance at winning. Do you know how stressful and exhausting that is? Or just knowing, we gave up 14 points, I guess, we're done. I mean, or just then the defense sitting on the sidelines watching Zach Wilson and that offense with their head cut off, not knowing what the heck's going on. Like, that's exhausting. That's not a headache. That's a massive migraine brain tumor, okay? Now that they finally have a quarterback who's competent, who's elite, who's an all-time great, who knows how to execute an offense flawlessly, they're going to say, they're going to question whether or not he's worth the headaches? It's just comically absurd. Again, it's exhausting both offensively and defensively when you have no offense and no quarterback, and deep down you have no actual true shot at winning these games, winning a division, winning a title. It's brutal to play football. It's brutal to practice, to prepare, to study film, to do everything, to play the game, go through all the hits, the aches, the pains, the injuries, everything, knowing that you don't have a fighting chance because Zach Wilson is your quarterback. That is exhausting. That is deflating. That is a massive brain tumor that you need to get intensive 12-hour surgery to get removed. Okay? Having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback is not a headache. Okay? Is there not any drawbacks? Of course, there's drawbacks to having any great player, quite frankly, whether it's Mahomes, whether it's Brady, whether it's LeBron James, whether it's Aaron Rodgers. Nothing is ever 1,000%, but it's pretty darn close. And you know Aaron Rodgers cares. You know Aaron Rodgers is doing everything he can to elevate this team. And you know that he's more than capable. Even if you want to say that he's not the same player, the same MVP that he was, we know he's way better than Wilson. That just can't be argued. We know that he's at the very minimum, at least an average player now. Right? We know there's no way that he's a below average football player. And if he's just an average football player, that makes Aaron Rodgers the best quarterback in the last decade or so that the New York Jets have had. So yeah, he's worth whatever made up headaches that the media wants everyone to believe that exist within the New York Jets. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Do you think Aaron Rodgers will be worth the headaches for the Jets? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.